Hi, I'm Gerald. I'm 58 years old and I've never worked a full-time job. Now and then I did part-time work. Here and there, I tried my own little things, but I never stayed long in anything where someone else was the boss, telling me what to do, controlling my time, controlling my life. To some people, that sounds lazy. To others, it sounds like freedom. But what I've learned after all these years is something I want to share with you now. See, I didn't live off the system. I didn't even claim benefits for most of my life. I just sort of lived, I survived, I observed, and I thought deeply about life, freedom, work, and what really matters. What I want to say might upset some people, but maybe that's good. Maybe we need to be shaken a little to wake up because this world, this modern system, it's not built to help your soul grow. It's built to keep you working, working for others, working till you're too tired to think, too tired to feel. It's like quiet slavery with a smile on top. In the Tao Te Ching, it says, in pursuit of knowledge, every day something is added. In pursuit of the Tao, every day something is dropped. I didn't know this when I was young. I felt guilty for not working. But I've dropped a lot over the years, dropped the lies, dropped the pressure, dropped the idea that I had to prove myself through hard work. What if we've been sold the wrong dream? Wake up early, work 8 hours or more, come home exhausted, do it all again, and for what? A house you barely enjoy, a car you drive to work, a pension you might not live to spend. I didn't want that life, not because I'm better than anyone, just different. And now, looking back, I'm starting to see the truth. I didn't miss out. I saw things most people never get to see. I had time, time to think, time to watch the seasons change, time to feel sadness and joy and not rush past it all. In the Bible, in Romans chapter 12, it says, "Do not conform to the pattern of this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind." This world says you're only valuable if you're productive, if you're busy, if you've got a job title. But I say your value isn't in your job, it's in your being, in your presence, in the way you see and feel and love. Now, I'm not saying don't work. I'm not saying sit around and do nothing. I'm saying think for yourself. Ask, who am I serving and why? Some people feel trapped, like there's no other way, but maybe there is. Maybe you can create something, grow something, share something that matters to you, not just for money, but for meaning. I know not everyone can walk away from the system today, but you can start asking the questions. You can start seeing through the illusion. You are not a machine. You're not here to just produce, obey, and die. You're here to live. And if no one's ever told you this before, I want you to hear it now. You don't have to earn your worth. You already have it. Don't waste your life chasing someone else's dream. Build your own, even if it's slower, even if it's quiet, because peace is not in the paycheck. It's in presence, in purpose, in freedom. It took me 58 years to see this clearly, and I just wanted to pass it on. But maybe you're wondering, if I didn't work like most people, if I didn't clock in and clock out day after day, what did I do with my time? Was it wasted? I've asked myself that too. For years I felt guilty. I felt like I should have done more, been more, proved more. Did my parents suffer and lose face for their only son not working for decades? I felt this guilt for decades. But the older I get, the more I realize life isn't just about proving anything. It's not a test you pass by ticking boxes. It's not about how many hours you worked, how many people you pleased, or how many paychecks you stacked. It's about whether you lived, whether you found peace, whether you remembered who you are, before the world told you who to be somebody. I've had time to think, time to walk in silence, time to watch the seasons change, time to sit with my dogs, to hear the birds, to cry, to laugh, to heal, to wonder. That kind of time is rare, and no boss would ever give it to you. Now, I'm not saying work is wrong. Some people love their work, they find purpose in it. That's beautiful. But too many are just surviving, worn down, exhausted, trading their soul for a salary. Some might say I'm lazy, but maybe I just refuse to give my life away for something that didn't feel right. In the Tao Te Ching, it says, "The world is won by letting things take their course. You cannot control the world. Trying only makes it worse." And in the Bible, it says in Romans chapter 13, "The one who loves another has fulfilled the law." Love does no harm to a neighbor. Therefore, love is the fulfillment of the law, not labor, not stress, not climbing the ladder, just love. The real work is inner work, healing your wounds, understanding your patterns, facing your shadows, releasing your fears, and learning how to truly live without needing permission. This world pushes speed, productivity, noise, distraction, but the soul grows in stillness, in slowness, in presence. And that's what these years gave me. Not riches, not status, not praise, but presence, insight, freedom. So if you've ever felt like you're falling behind, or that you haven't done enough, or that your life doesn't measure up, let me say this: you're not behind, you're not late, you're not broken, you're here, you're breathing, and you still have time. You don't need to prove your worth. You were worthy the moment you were born. Don't let this world convince you otherwise. Don't let fear write your story. Don't let the system cage your soul. You were not born to be a slave. You were born to live, to love, to be. So take a deep breath, slow down, come home to yourself, because the best part of life might be the part no one ever taught you to value. And if it took me 58 years to learn that, maybe I can save you some time. But maybe you won't need 58 years. Maybe you're already sensing it, that something's off with the way this world expects us to live. Always rushing, always proving, always obeying. What if that feeling deep inside you is the truth? What if you're not lazy, broken, or useless, but just not made to be someone's pawn? In the Tao Te Ching, it says, "The world is won by letting things take their course." You cannot control the world. Trying only makes it worse. That hit me hard, because for most of my life, I did try to control things. I tried to fit in, tried to make money, tried to appear normal, but none of it brought peace. It just made me more lost. Now I live slow, I think deep, I rest often, and I let go of the idea that I must be constantly useful, because the trees don't justify their existence, they just grow. The stars don't ask for purpose, they just shine. Why should we be any different? In the Bible it says in Romans chapter 13, "Let no debt remain outstanding, except the continuing debt to love one another. For whoever loves others has fulfilled the law." No mention of work, no mention of your CV, your job title, or your productivity. Just love. That's the only debt that matters. So if you've ever felt like a misfit, if you've ever looked around and wondered, is this all life is? Clocking in, clocking out, getting older, and calling that success? Then maybe your soul remembers something the world forgot. That life is not about being used up, it's about waking up. You don't need to earn the right to rest. You don't need to hustle your way to being enough. You already are. You were born worthy, and no system, no government, no boss can take that away. So stop asking, how can I do more? and start asking, what would it look like to just be? Maybe the world doesn't need more workers. Maybe it needs more humans, more artists, dreamers, wanderers, thinkers, more people brave enough to walk away from the noise and come home to themselves. You were never meant to be a slave. You were born to be free, and it's not too late to begin.